Hi, fourth graders, welcome back. Today we're going to learn about session 5, which is really note taking in a nutshell. So, writing down the really important things. And today, what we're going to be doing is looking at more than one text on the same topic. So, you're going to try to find a couple different websites or maybe some of the books on Epic or other places that you can find and try to synthesize your notes. And one of the things that people have talked to me in the past about is Wikipedia's not being a very reliable source. I think when it comes to things like celebrities and pop culture, things change quite a bit. When it comes to historical events, usually it's pretty accurate. I wouldn't use it as a be-all, end-all, but I think it is very accurate for the most part. So I think you can use that information and then double check it with a different source that you also trust. But today, getting back to this, we're simply going to do some note taking, which is what you're going to be doing as you get into fifth grade, and then talking to middle school teachers. You'll be doing Cornell note taking in middle school. So just kind of giving you an idea of this is something you can do. You don't have to do this. We'll do more of this when we get into our second project later on in the year. But right now, one of the things you're going to do is on the left side, you're going to write down kind of a main idea. And on the right side, you're going to write down details. And on the very bottom, you're going to summarize what you read about. To give you an example, I wrote down some notes about Benjamin Franklin. So the category that I used was his early life. And I jotted down, so on the detail on the left side would be early life. This is the section, this is the category. And all the things on the right side are details that I thought were important or something that I could use at some point in this. And some of these I used in my writing, and some of these I chose not to, or at least maybe not in this section. But I found out that Ben Franklin grew up in Boston. He was baptized in the Old South Church, a very popular place. He was a leader among his friends, especially his boys. And he loved to read, loved playing chess, loved swimming. He went to school until age 10, and at that point he started working for his dad, where he was making candles in soap. He worked as an apprentice, so he learned how to do things with printing under his older brother James. And then later on, he wrote opinions to his brother's newspaper. He used a fake name. He actually pretended to be a widow, so he was pretending he was a woman who lost her husband, and she was in like her 40s or 50s. So he was using that name as kind of a cover-up, and he started writing down his opinions, which became very popular. And later on, he started to kind of get sick of being around by his family and wanted to do things on his own. He wanted to become independent, so he ran away from home at age 17. He moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania from Boston, and then stayed there. And at the urging of the governor, he ended up moving to London, England, and was a big part of the American Revolution. On the bottom of this, I did a summary. So I wrote down kind of in a nutshell all the notes that I took from the right side. I wrote down that Benjamin Franklin grew up in Boston. He worked for his dad and brother. He was very smart and independent. This caused him to run away from home and head to Philadelphia, and soon after London. So with Cornell note-taking, again, basically what you're doing is you have a category. My category in this case was early life. You could have several categories if you wanted to. So you could have early life, you could have his family, you could do different things. And then details will go on the right side. And on the bottom, you're going to write down just what you learned kind of as an overview for the summary. And for today, what you're going to be working on for the most part is family. So if you are doing a major person or a major person, you're going to be talking about the family. And for Benjamin Franklin, his dad was William Franklin. He was a chandler, which meant that he made candles and soap. His mom was a biofolger. He had 16 brothers and sisters. He has 16, and he was one of the youngest. He was the youngest boy and the second youngest overall in his family, which is crazy. He married Deborah Reed. That was his wife for 44 years. And they had 2 sons, William and Francis, and a daughter named Sarah. So just looking at information about Benjamin Franklin, I found this stuff about his family from when he was growing up and also when he was an adult. And then early life, this is where I took a lot of the notes that I had from above. I talked about how he grew up in Boston. He was baptized in the famous Old South Church. He was a leader. Talked about him going to school and then stopping going to school. He was an apprentice for his brother and then eventually ran away from home to become independent and was very independent when he moved to London. And if you are doing an event, you're going to talk about what caused your event to happen. So looking for the key causes. So instead of talking about family and early life, like for a person, for an event, you're going to talk about what are some of the major causes of your event. So what caused, for example, the Boston Tea Party, or what caused the Boston Massacre. So write down some of the key events that led up to that moment, or some things that happened to cause this major event to occur. Again, let me know if you need any help with anything. I'll be glad to guide you through this process.